I've had a really exciting opportunity come up, and I figured I would start documenting the process of what it's like working with this. But I've had a gardening business in this town for over 10 years at this point, which is kind of wild to think about. It's really morphed quite a bit, and I've learned a lot. Setting out with the intention of wanting to help people start their own vegetable gardens. Some years into that, I started taking on some commercial work and really got into a lot of more decorative installations. And lately I've been doing a lot of like maintenance and planting and cleanup and irrigation work. And it's been an interesting journey, in part because gardening there's no real end to it. There's always so much to learn, which keeps me very engaged. And something I've wanted to procure or build, or, and I guess in this case, it kind of all worked out that there's this 9 by 20 foot greenhouse, actually located in the back of the school, the college that I went to. A professor put it in about 4 years ago, and then he transferred to a different school. And this is kind of on the back side of campus where there's nobody really here. So I guess it's been hypothetically abandoned and unused. And someone I've done a lot of work for and with, is on the board here. And thank you to this person, because he made some connections and said, if you want a greenhouse to play with this winter, there's one that's just sitting there. So took some time to think about what that would look like. It's really probably only about a mile from my house, so it's easy to get to. And here we are. So there's a lot of cleanup to do, and so it's kind of a wildly full circle experience, having gone to school here. This is kind of liberal arts schools have been struggling for years, and this is part of campus that they still own, but it's not really used. I think there's one teacher having a class when school's in session in the building across from me, and then the two science labs, the earth science lab and the biology lab, are unused. And so this greenhouse has just been sitting back here. The landscape out here it's turned to quite a jungle. But I would say probably 8 years ago, this was packed full of students. We'd have class outside in a little outdoor garden classroom space. The science labs were always packed, just back-to-back classes, but times have changed. The school is doing all right, but things have just sort of shifted in the student body and their interests and what they're coming to school here for. So this has just been sitting here. So it all worked out where I offered to do some landscape cleanup, which will be pleasant to kind of revive some of these spaces that I have such fond memories in, and utilize this greenhouse to really get to experiment with a part of gardening that I've only really had the opportunity to sort of dabble in, based on not having a greenhouse and having limited space inside. So this will just kind of expand what it is I get to experiment with planting. The goal is to be able to offer a more exotic variety of plants to clients, and be able to do pop-up sales. This will be an interesting adventure, really, and it'll be a learning curve, as all aspects of gardening tend to be, which, I've learned so many things about myself and plants and people and how to run a business, which still always learning about that. But this will be a fun adventure, but I also just wanted to kind of document the process, because why not? You can learn along with me. And so I'm gonna head inside. There's some residual plant matter and nursery pots and things. So today I'm just gonna kind of clean that stuff up. I have a wheelbarrow and some heaters I got from a neighbor, RIP Ed, he just passed. I was asked to come help haul out some of the things that were in his yard and in his house. And when I was doing that, I realized these were things that I needed, you know, for my greenhouse project. See what I can pull off with this greenhouse. I'm just excited to play and learn more, and I have tons of ideas, so we'll see what ends up coming from it all. So I'm gonna head inside and start cleaning. So here it is. Some seed saving was taking place here. There's some garlic chives drying from the ceiling, but I decided a brisk December day after Christmas, Boxing Day, so I decided to come over here and just clean up, you know, do some sweeping. Those are some heaters from Ed. I have no idea if they work. They kind of need to be repaired at the base, so I'll get to do that. But the facilities director did a great job. He actually set this up. There's a spigot with hot water outside over there. So it's plumbed with hot water to keep it from freezing, so we don't have any burst pipes. And there is a vent fan with a thermostat, which is so cool. I mean, this is just a dream come true. There's outlets for electricity and even an irrigation timer, which I probably won't use, but that's there. But this is a sweet space. I'm gonna get to work on cleaning, but I just wanted to show you all, whoever even watches this. And I'll do a little outside tour also because it's pretty sweet. There's a bike rack, and that's a creek that runs back behind here. Clean up around the greenhouse, and once I get, sorry about I hope I'm not making you sick. Once I get kind of the immediate zone cleaned up, I used to have class back here, and it was so sweet. On beautiful sunny days, which we have lots of here, we would come outside. Oh, it's an apple tree that has gone haywire. We'll be pruning that this spring. But some really sweet plants and amazing boulders. I mean, we used to sit out here and have class. So I'll be weeding this area and making it look a bit more inviting. Yeah, some incredible manzanita. I mean, pretty cool. But yeah, I used to walk in and out of class this way. We used to come in and out of this door all the time, the Sinagua building, and come out here. So anyway, I'm gonna be doing some work, cleaning it up, making it feel inviting. And I think the inevitable goal, the eventual goal is to grow some seedlings and starts and do some propagation of things that excite me, to be able to expand what's available in this town for gardens. It'd be cool to do some workshops, and I'll probably do some work with the students too. They have a garden program that's doing well. Yeah, so here we are. This is my hangout this winter and spring, and thanks for checking it out. All right, here it is. We are cleaned up. Brought a bunch of everything out, pretty much. Did some sweeping, hosed down the walls. We'll scrape off outside whatever that tape is. But yeah, round one of cleaning went well. Nice little project to focus on today. I clogged the drain probably 6 times trying to spray out it's a lot of like dust and leaves and everything kept clogging that. So I'll make another pass through here after it dries, but it's exciting. I'm gonna close up for today. The heaters don't work, so that's okay. The water worked great, and I'm gonna head home now. But that's my exciting update. New greenhouse space. This will be fun. So get to start moving plants in soon. And I have a thermometer in the car that will track at least the highs and lows, but not a fancy one that will notify my phone about anything, but I'll get familiar with the temperature fluctuations in this space, which is always gonna be different, every greenhouse. So here we go.